There is a quorum, so I declare the meeting open. First of all, I'd like to invite members to confirm the minutes of the following meeting, which is contained in paper CB bracket 1107H/12-13 for the meeting on the 26th of February 2013. As of now, the Secretariat hasn't received any proposed amendments. If members do not have any comments, I suggest that we confirm the minutes. Comments, please? No? Then thank you. Since our last meeting held on the 23rd of April 2013, members have received a number of information papers. The details are set out on the agenda. So in relation to the information papers, members, do you have any special views? If not, then we can move on to the next item on the agenda. Thank you. As to our next regular meeting, it will be held on the 25th of June 2013 at 2:30 p.m. The administration has suggested the following item for discussion: the work of the Urban Renewal Authority. Members, do you have other suggestions? If not, then I would also like to say that on the 1st of June at 9 a.m., the panel will be holding a special meeting to listen to the views on the reclamation outside Victoria Harbour and the development of rock havens. When the deadline expired on the 21st of May, the number of deputations enrolling for the public hearing have exceeded 150. Therefore, the meeting will be extended by 1 hour, and it means that it will end at 7 p.m. So, members, please attend the meeting punctually. Now, we are at item 4, Public Works Program item number 159 CD, Reconstruction and Rehabilitation of Kai Tak Nala from Tung Kwong Road to Prince Edward Road East. I would like to ask our staff to invite the administration to join us. Thank you.
Vide. 歡迎出席。
I would like to extend our welcome to the public officers who are in attendance. Administration, please brief us on the paper. The administration will make use of the PowerPoint to present the paper. Please be as concise as possible. Please be seated. Sorry, speaker is off mic. Can you hear me? Thank you. We would like to enhance the quality of living of the citizens, and then improvement of the Kai Tak Nala is one of the means. In fact, in 2010 and 2011, there were 2 stages of PEE, that is the public engagement exercise. According to the outcome of that public engagement exercises, it is found that the citizens would like to turn Kai Tak Nala into a green river so as to beautify the landscape and to achieve the objective for flood protection purpose. So we are going to turn Kai Tak Nala into an attractive green river and landscape feature into Kai Tak River. There will be a number of additional elements like aesthetics, greening, landscaping, and ecological at the sides and bottom of Nala. The CEDD and the DSD have already started the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Kai Tak Nala in the upstream as well as the downstream of Kai Tak Nala. We are now having TWP 159CD, and that's about the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Kai Tak Nala from Tung Kwong Road to Prince Edward Road East. I would like to hand over the floor to Mr. Cheng from the DSD to use a few slides to present the project to you. Mr. Cheng. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here to present the project 159CD. Well, Kai Tak Nala is one of the major drainage channels in East Kowloon, measuring 2.5 km. It originates from Po Kong Village Road, flows along Choi Hong Road and Tung Kwong Road, runs underneath Prince Edward Road East before traversing the Kai Tak development area and finally discharges into Victoria Harbour. It covers Chi Wan Shan, Diamond Hill, Wong Tai Sin, San Po Kong, Kowloon City and Kai Tak development area as its catchment. For this nala, it was built in tandem with the former Kai Tak airport some decades ago and is inadequate to meet the current flood protection standard. And in fact, there were flooding incidents seriously affecting the traffic of Wong Tai Sin and its adjacent districts during heavy rainstorms. We need to carry out the proposed works, including the deepening of the nala and removal of obstructions within the nala to improve its drainage capacity and mitigate the flooding risk to the surrounding areas. To engage the public on the planning of Kai Tak Nala, we conducted a two-stage public engagement exercise, PEE, on building our Kai Tak River in December 2010 and June 2011. According to the outcome of the exercise, there are strong public aspirations for revitalizing Kai Tak Nala into an attractive green river and townscape feature, and it should not be covered. And in fact, on the 12th of March 2013, in relation to the midstream project, we consulted the views of the Wong Tai Sin District Council and we got the support of the District Council members. For the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Kai Tak Nala, it is being carried out in a number of stages. In October 2010 August, we started the advanced improvement project, including the widening of the existing box culvert in Prince Edward Road East. It will be completed towards the end of this year. And then 140CD is in relation to the upstream project, and it was started in October 2011 to be completed in middle of 2017. In addition, in January this year, we also started the project 167CD in relation to the downstream, and this is to improve the downstream section of Kai Tak Nala of the Kai Tak new development area to be completed early 2018. And then we would like to deal with the remaining part running from Tung Kwong Road to Prince Edward Road East. That's the midstream, so as to tie in with the other sections and to tie in with the timetable. We hope that we can improve the entire section of Kai Tak Nala in time and for the enjoyment of the public. For this midstream project, it comprises the following. A, the reconstruction and rehabilitation of a section of Kai Tak Nala of about 500 m long from Tung Kwong Road to Prince Edward Road East. B, utilities diversion, including the reprovisioning of an affected existing dry weather flow interceptor. And C, ancillary works, including landscaping works, environmental mitigation measures, and related monitoring and audit works. It is expected to cost $1.24 billion. According to the public views on the planning of Kai Tak River, they would very much like to turn it into an attractive green river and townscape feature, so as to enhance its visual quality and image, in addition to its prime objective of for flood protection purpose. We plan to reconstruct and rehabilitate the entire Kai Tak Nala so that it becomes Kai Tak River. In fact, there will be aesthetic, greening, landscaping, and ecological elements at the sides and bottom of the nala, including the following. There will be the idea of applying other natural reverse elements to this nala. There will be artificial rock and boulders so as to make it look like a natural river. And then on the bottom and at the side there will be fish shelter, so that when there is strong current occurring, fish can stay inside the shelter, and this is to maintain the ecology. And will also be landscaping the size of the nullah. Appropriate species will be chosen. For 159 CD, our timetable is as follows. Between June and July this year, we're going to apply for funding, and after that, we're going to invite tender in July, and we expect to start the project towards the end of this year to be completed towards the end of 2017. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members' questions. According to Rule 83A of the Rules of Procedure, at a panel meeting, members may not move any motions or amendments in relation to matters that a member has direct or indirect pecuniary interest, or speak on that topic unless that member has disclosed the nature of the relevant interest. Therefore, I would like to remind members that if in relation to the matter to be handled by us, if you have any direct or indirect pecuniary interest, please disclose the nature of the relevant interest before you do speak. Now, members, the floor is open to you for questions. I suggest that for each member that asks questions, you will have 4 minutes each, including the reply from the administration. Any questions from anybody? Mr. Chair, Deputy Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I want to say that I support the relevant funding request, but then I do have a question. In relation to the control of the water volume as well as the water level, I want to know whether you have considered the following. When there is a lot of storm water, the water level will be high, or do you have an optimal sort of water height that you have in mind to keep the water flowing? And then what about improvement to the water quality? I understand that in the past there used to be a lot of illegal connection, so that sewers were connected to the nullah instead of just storm water coming into the nullah. I want to know whether all such will be rectified. Administration. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the volume of the river water as well as the water level, well, generally speaking, it will be at an even speed. When it is dry, then the water will flow at a steady rate. But of course, when there's heavy rain, the water level would rise. After our project, it is hoped that we can meet the flood prevention standards. In other words, there won't be any flooding. For the current project, we will take this opportunity to improve the interceptors so as to enhance the capacity of the interceptors, and this will help with the future water flow. I want to know whether it is right to say that you are not allowing any illegal sewer connection. Mr. Chairman, in fact, all along, we don't allow sewage to be discharged into the nullah. But even if sewage is found to enter the nullah, we are going to have interceptors so as to divert it to the sewers for discharge after treatment. Any other questions? Mr. Low. Sorry, speakers off mic. I want to follow up on the question asked by the Deputy Chair. Sorry, speakers off mic. I'd like to ask a question about the typical section. Sorry, speaker is off mic. Could you hear me? It doesn't matter. When the water level is low, I understand that the rate of the water flow will still be maintained. Because according to the typical section, it seems that you are not able to control the rate of the water current. Can you elaborate on this point?
Mr. Tai can answer that. Basically, for the flowing water, whether there's a certain speed for the water flow. Now, if you go to Kai Tak Nau La, we can see it. We have taken measurements for the existing situation. Down below, the water flow can go on, even if it's the dry season. There is a substantial volume of water flow. Of course, during heavy rain for wet season, then of course the water level will rise. But for this design of the NOLA, even for heavy water, it can still cope. Ms. Ho, a basic question. Actually, we should have asked this 4 or 5 years ago for Kai Tak Nau La. What's the source of the water? Okay, it says that it comes from Heung Road, Tung Kwong Road. It says it comes from Wong Tai Sin, Po Kong Village Road. There's a street. What's the source of the water? Is it true that you collect the rainwater and then the water goes there? What's the source? In the past, we asked about the dry season, about the backflow of the seawater, etc. I think we're talking about the collection of fresh water. So when you deal with Kai Tak Nau La, so during the dry season, you have to pump the water to support it, replenish it, etc. First, the source, and second, how will you maintain the flow? Who can answer that? Speaker not coming through. Yes, for the stormwater, for the collection zone is quite large. Kowloon East, a large area there. According to present observation, during the dry season there is still water. Of course, you can ask why there is water during the dry season. You know that some water comes from the hills. If Ms. Ho remembers, if we talk about the downstream of Kai Tak development area, this question has been asked, and we have explained that apart from collection of water from the hills, say from the Tai Po sewage treatment plant and the Sha Tin sewage treatment plant, the treated water through a tunnel, it comes to Kai Tak Nau La, and then it goes to Victoria Harbour. And for the water volume, of course, it is not that much when compared with rainwater. But when we have this, then during dry season we still have water. The water comes from the Tai Po and Sha Tin sewage treatment plants. The main aim, firstly, is to improve the water quality of Tolo Harbour, and secondly, for the treated water, when compared with Kai Tak Nau La and Victoria Harbour, the water quality is better. So it's a win-win situation. The water quality of both sides can improve, and we can ensure that for Kai Tak Nau La, there is still water flow. Yes, I can remember that, Mr. Chairman. For the middle section, okay, water comes from the stormwater drains, from the sewage treatment plants, I know. Now, how about the source? For many rivers, they have source in the hills. Now, for the source here, is it true that you just have a kind of box at the end of a drain? It's just a box at Po Kong Village Road. You don't have streams or rivers there. For the source, It comes from the hills. It goes through different tributaries. And then for the upstream, we have smaller channels, and then they gather the water, and then at different points, they come to the Cardinal, like just a network from the small tributaries, and then we have a bigger streams, etc. Now for this project, for Po Kong Village Road, do you have plans for us to look at? You talk about Po Kong Village Road, Para 9. Okay, it comes from Po Kong Village Road at Wong-fat. You talk about origination. I can't imagine why a river originates from Po Kong Village Road. Now for upstream work, as the DSD explained a few years back, when we did the upstream part, there were papers on that. We had some explanations. Now we are connecting that. We are doing the midstream part. Of course, for upstream data, we still have that. If Mr. want to recap it, we can provide the information again. Sorry, I really can't recap that kind of information, but I can read this paragraph. I can imagine that the river originates from a street. Just want to know the data. Now upstream is quite near to Wong-fat police station. We have some box covers. Of course, at upstream, the collection points are not that many, but Wong-fat police station, for two sections of the box covers, they deal with different catchment areas, like Heung, and also Po Kong Village Road, and then the water comes from there. And then in the middle, they have smaller tributaries. During the dry season, for the catchment areas, they don't have water. And then you rely on the storm water, and then the water will come to the Nile. Is that right? For dry season, well, for the catchment areas is quite large. There's still water coming in. As Mr. Liu said, for Shatin and the typo sewage treatment plants, concerning the treated water, it will come here, so we can ensure that during the dry season, we have the basic flow. Thank you. Mr. Kenneth Chen. For this work, I think we have been waiting for that. Now, for the Wong-fat District Council paper, it shows that district councillors are concerned about greening. I hope that you can satisfy the district councillors. And there are two related questions raised. Look at the Lee Kao-yan Memorial School site. It's quite near. You can look at it from the map. Now for the memorial school, it wants to be relocated. So I want to follow up. A lot of discussion has been made. How about the Lee Kao-yan Memorial School? How about aspiration? How will you look at it? You can say that you have an open mind, but please be more specific. The school is there. And of course, about the footbridge from Tung Wei Estate to Yok Kwan Street. And back to the indication on the map, of course, this is also quite important about this footbridge. I hope that the Bureau or the department concerned can explain that for these 2 points, these 2 aspirations. So you want funding, so what's the next step? Yes, Mr. Chairman, perhaps I can answer that. For Lee Kao-yan Memorial School, they want to relocate. As far as I understand, they are applying to the Education Bureau. The Development Bureau, we can get policy support from the Education Bureau, will tie in with that. If the Lee Kao-yan School has been moved, then for redevelopment, then at the side of the Nile, we can have some sort of corridor, direct link. So about the curvilinear footbridge, it may not be useful. So for the time being, we do not propose that it goes ahead. Depends on the issue of the relocation of the Kao-yan Memorial School. But we will liaise with the Education Bureau. Of course, we can tie in with this Education Bureau. But do you have a direction or timetable? Can you be more specific? You know, the Education Bureau wants to get land from you. You have to liaise with the land authorities Do you have the land already? Or is it true that you are just talking about it on paper? Have you actually found the land? I think the residents are concerned. We're still awaiting the response and the views of the Education Bureau. We don't have information to supplement at this stage. So if the Bureau has further information, please give us a paper. Ms. Claudia Mo. Now you must have the proper description of the name. Talk about building our Kai Tak River. There must be some organisms and fish. And here you talk about Naula. Naula is a kind of drain. It's a kind of confusion. As Ms. Sito said, it's quite perplexing. What's the source of the river? Why is it that it originates from Pokong Village Road? How can you find some water as a source at the street? You must have a proper description. You say that for Sha Tin Tai Po, the treated water there comes here also. So actually you have water from the hills, you have water collected from the streams, so the water should be fresh and clean. Okay, you have treated water still. It's still sewage, although it's treated. It's a waste. Now you said that the Tongjiang River water is very expensive and we have to buy a certain quantity. We don't have any refund, etc. But here, for this project, was that you have to use the treated water. How can you do the planning? You can intercept the water. Then there won't be wasted water. But now you mix the clean water and the treated water. This is my first question, or rather the second question. The first question is the proper description. The second question is this. Could you have fresh water from the hills and it's mixed with treated water? This is my second question. Now the third question, okay, the estimated cost, I believe in the professional judgment. But for the West Kowloon Cultural Authority, there's an overrun of cost. For the high-speed railway, it's also the same. For this sum, it's true that it's really the sum. Perhaps 5 years later, there will be overrun of 3 times. Thank you, Ms. Mo. Perhaps I can clarify that. Kai Tak Naula is the present name. After we complete the work, we hope that we can change the name to Kai Tak River. Even for Kai Tak Naula, you go to see it, there is water there, and that actually there is also fish there. And some birds also will fly to the Naula to find some food. After we improve the situation, it really looks like a river with life. And that point for clarification. For the treated water, that's not sewage. It's treated water from Taipo and Sha Tin sewage treatment plants. The water quality standard is quite high. Of course, for the water there is still quite clear. Of course, it's different from the clear water from the hills. Even if you talk about clear water from the hills, if it goes through the urban area, more or less some urban water will be mixed. And the water quality will not be as pure as that on the hills. Now, for the treated water from Taipo and Sha Tin, actually, it will help the quality of the water. Actually, there are fish there. What is the source of the fish there? Actually, they're growing there. But you do not put in the fish artificially. No, not really. The last question, the cost estimates. Yes. For Kai Tak River, the upstream work is being done, and in 2010 some advanced work were done. So for estimation, we have had a lot of reference materials and data. According to the costing, you can do it more accurately about the midstream part. So we have confidence that the work can be finished within the estimates. Of course, we will monitor the expenditure. We hope to ensure that it is within the estimates. Thank you. Ms. Mo talk about the problem description. You talk about the Naula. It will be turned into river. Then how about DSD? Will it be responsible? Well, the DSD will still be responsible for management and maintenance. Peter James 10, paragraph 15, talks about construction waste. Mr. Chairman, yesterday at the Environment Panel meeting concerning the Chiang-Kwan-O landfill, a lot of people raised opposition. They said that the construction waste all goes to Chiang-Kwan-O, the newer landfill. They talk about 9,000 tons. But here, paragraph 15 in this paper, construction waste is about 30,000 tons. Now, 10,000 tons, okay, it can be used on site. 20,000 tons will go to public field reception facilities, so on and so forth. So 20,000 tons is quite substantial. For the 20,000 tons, now where will we go to? Now for Chiang-Kwan-O landfill, many people will oppose that. For shuttlecock or Twin Moon, okay, we can't build new landfills. We talk about 20,000 tons. And yesterday at the Environment Panel, we talked about 9,000 tons, but here is double. It has to be transferred. Public fuel reception facilities, it's true that they refer to landfills. Now for the midstream work, we have to dredge the riverbed, but there is a substantial amount of waste. Of course, we hope that on site we can make better use of the construction waste, but some of it cannot be used, and we'll go to public fuel reception facilities so that other works in future can use it. Now, Mr. Chairman, perhaps I can explain this. The work, it creates about 30,000 tons of construction waste. About 300 tons non-inert construction waste. They will decay with the passage of time. So the 300 tons will go to the landfills. For the 30,000 tons, actually they are inert waste, like the mud, the rocks, etc. And 1/3 will be used on site. And for the 2/3, about 20,000 tons, they will go to Area 38 of Twin Moon, that is the public field, and also Area 137 of Chiang-Kwan-O, the public field. They will collect it, and then other projects will use it. Now, 306 tons will go to landfills. But yesterday about Chiang-Kwan-O, apart from landfills, top of the public field reception facilities, I think they are the same. Public field reception facilities, they are put there for the time being, and then if they are to be used elsewhere, then they will be transferred. Well, we don't allow you to do the reclamation work. About public field reception facilities, okay, waste is put there for the time being, but perhaps it would be permanently. Chiang-Kwan-O yesterday, we talked about that. People still oppose it. They oppose landfills, and they also oppose public field reception facilities. 20,000 tons, a vast amount. Where would it be put in terms of public field reception facilities? Talk about Twin Moon, is that right? Near Twin Moon, is Chiang-Kwan-O? Perhaps I can supplement that. I'd like to thank Mr. Tian for the question. Now, for the residual construction waste, public field, actually it's not waste, it is useful. For the field, Chiang-Kwan-O or Twin Moon, we talk about the fill bank. Now we don't have reclamation for this sort of fill. It is transported to Taishan on the mainland for reclamation. So beyond Victoria Harbour, for public engagement exercises, we explain that members can support our proposal. There's reclamation outside Victoria Harbour. Then we can make use of the residual fill. We can make use of it in Hong Kong. We don't have to transfer it to Taishan. Okay, but you don't have other use, and you put it there, then it will become permanent. If the mainland does not accept it, then you don't have other places to put it. You put it for a time being, but perhaps it will become permanent. So we hope to try to find some place to place it.
Mr. Leung Kok-hong, I think in the final analysis, you are not, telling us the truth. This is only actually a ditch. For in Chinese, you may say that in the past, you can call a river a river. You actually, are making, an artificial, waterway so that the water flow could be expedited. And the same happens in the in this river. So are you going to treat the Nala as like a river? It's not a river itself. Is it a river? The Indus River originally was a river, but now it's now been turned into a Nala. So is that what you mean? Chairman, we want to expand the drainage capacity of the Nala and also inject biological and green features so that it will look like an artificial river, but it's in fact a river compared with the Indus River. We hope that the living organisms can live there. We will inject more living species to live there. In other words, you're talking about a Nala with living creatures living in it. So I think you have to call it by a proper name. Secondly, regarding the construction waste, you now say that the construction waste will be put aside and it will be used, put to some future use, but I don't think we will be able to use them if we don't have irrigation reclamation. What happens if your proposal for reclamation is being rejected? Are you going to take the construction waste materials to Shenzhen or Dubai? Do you have an interim plan? That is, if your proposal for reclamation is being rejected, where will you take these waste materials to? Chairman, at the moment, there is already a mechanism. We do not have reclamation at the moment, and the surplus fill materials are now taken to Taishan for reclamation. So it's taken elsewhere. It's taken to Taishan in the mainland. Are they still willing to accept the waste materials we send them? We need to negotiate with them every year. Starting from 2007, we've been involved in negotiation every year, and they are taking delivery of these construction waste from us every year. I think we've helped Taishan reclaim, more than 400 hectares of land. Well, we have a duty as legislators because the Chongqing residents really object to these materials being taken to the area, because you know when they will be taken away from the district. If Taishan rejects these construction waste, then are you going to take it to Dubai? So I think you would need to talk to other jurisdictions as to where you might take the waste materials to. I think if Taishan is unwilling to accept these waste materials, you will need to take them elsewhere. Chairman, we hope that the public and members will support a proposal for reclamation outside of the Victoria Harbour, so that the surplus construction waste could be used locally. So what are you going to, form a hill Other than reclamation, there's no other use for the construction waste. If there's no place for you to dump these waste materials, it will still stay there, and it would actually become it will be dumped put into the public fuel storage facilities at Tuen Mun and Junggano landfills. Well, those two public fuel storage areas are all almost near saturation. So what's going to happen if Taishan no longer accepts these construction waste? So are there any other questions from members? If not, we will now end our discussion, and we ask whether members are in favor of this proposal. Any members against this proposal? If not, thank you very much. Thank you. We will now move on to item number 5. That would be item 96 WC, water supply to Pak Shek Kok Reclamation Area Typo Stage 2. I'd like to welcome the officials attending our meeting for this session. Will the administration walk us through the paper? Chairman, I'll walk members briefly through the paper. This is 96 WC, which is phase 2 of the water supply to Pak Shek Kok Reclamation Area Typo Stage 2. We intend to upgrade the project to CAD A, and this is actually the proposal to lay a 2.1 kilometers freshwater mains of 600 millimeters in diameter between Pun Chung Yuen and Shan Tong New Village in Taipo. Estimated cost is $162 million, and the purpose is to provide potable water to the reclaimed area at Pak Shek Kok. The area is already served by water drains, but we expect that by 2016 they will be saturated, and therefore we're now proposing to lay a new main to ensure there will be sufficient supply of fresh water to the area. Now, according to the Standing Order, Section 83A, members may not move any motions in respect of matters to which they have a direct and indirect interest, unless such members disclose such interest. So I'd like to remind members that if you should have any direct pecuniary interest relating to this proposal, you should, before you speak, declare such interest accordingly. So it's now time for members to ask questions. I'd like to propose that each member be given 3 minutes each, and that would include responses from the administration. Chairman, I support this proposal because we can see that at Pak Shek Kok now we already have the Science Park Phase 2 and residential, and the residential developments there are starting their population intake already. The supply of fresh water here is that by 2016 there will be I think a shortage. So you say that the project will only be finished by December 2016. So should there be any slippage? We all know that government projects tend to suffer from slippage. Should there be a delay, how would that affect the people? How would it affect the fresh supply to the science park and the residential developments there? How to ensure that there will not be any delay? And secondly, at the location where the works are going to take place, there's only a single road to Jiangxi Tan and Sun Chui Villa. I'm worried that during the course of the project, will it have any adverse impact on the traffic in the area, and how can we minimize such impacts? Now, who would like to take this? Now, to answer the first question, according to our estimated timetable, we have already reserved some time for as a cushion against inclement weather or unexpected incidents. So, in other words, we've set the completion time at the end of 2016. We've already reserved some leeway. At the works area for Pak Shek Kok, we have some contingency plan, just in case the project will delay. We can supply fresh water to Pak Shek Kok from another source. So there wouldn't be a period of time where there will be insufficient supply of fresh water to Pak Shek Kok. Regarding the impact on traffic, we've considered the alignment of the mains for a long time. The WSD have been liaising with the residents in the area because we need to consider the impact on the residents during the course of the project. So this project is subject to many constraints. For example, at certain sections of the road, we will only allow works to be carried out from 10 to 4. For the rest of the time, we have to cover up the road service so that it could be open to traffic. So the time for the works to be carried out, I think the project will tend to take longer because of that. And these are the special arrangements. Are you talking about 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.? It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So in other words, during the rush hours in the morning and the late afternoon, the roads will not be closed. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, no questions. Well, in that case, all those. So we end a discussion on this item. Do members support the proposal and refer the project to the PWSC for funding? Thank you. So I think we are being very efficient. The next item is item 6, which is the building of a military dock at the New Central Harbour front. We invite the administration to join us. Dr. Gary Chan has moved the motion in respect of this item, and the wording of the motion is already tabled for members. After we've discussed this item, I will deal with the motion proposed by Dr. Kenneth Chan. Oh, the officials have not yet arrived yet, so we're going to take a break for 7 minutes. The officials have not yet arrived, so we take a break of 7 minutes and we resume at 3:30.